this one's gone.
Okay.
There it is.
Yep.
And then
So we're really worried about that, right?
that one's going to clip right there, which is not technically our county, but this is the only portion that is in our viewing area.
Okay.
Then we got time to give them a heads up if they're going to go
So I'm
online.
going to ask Vito, what do you need?
Yeah. Max, can you hear me?
He wasn't in the control room.
Do you want me just to pull up a Facebook Live?
Snap pine trees in Bowling Green.
And that's the storm that's coming through our area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to call the Vito.
Okay, the live stream is up and we are tracking severe weather across the area. And the severe weather is right now south of the Bluegrass Parkway. This is where we have a tornado warning that this went through Bowling Green and actually did a little bit of damage. We got a report of some pine trees down there. That's the cell that we're talking about. It's going to be moving, possibly clipping the southern sections here of Hart County, just south of Munfordville. These are moving very, very quickly at about 55 miles per hour. This is going to possibly move into western Greene County. This tornado warning is radar indicated. It's not confirmed on the ground, but we have had some reports of some damage, so we want to take that very, very seriously as this tracks off to the east-northeast at around 50 to 55 miles per hour, heading to Goodnight, Highsville, LeGrand, Center, Little Barron, Donensburg, Exie, and Gabe. So that would be the western sections of Greene County. There was also a tornado warning for eastern Marion County. That's that cell right there, but it is about to move out of the WHAS11 viewing area. There was some rotation right about there in the southeastern corner of Marion County. So that's about to move out into the Lexington market. But if you're at the moment in southeastern Marion County, you may want to just stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. But be seeking shelter if you're in southern Hart County, in the western sections of Greene County. And a heads up for Greensburg, you're not in that warning yet. But if this gets extended, you will be, and then if it holds together, then it will be heading towards Campbellsville in Taylor County. This is the velocity, this is the wind speeds. That blue color indicates some pretty quick winds and the possibility of doing some damage as well. There's some rotation right there that's moving towards the southwestern corner of Hart County. Let's back up our view here. Chelsea, meteorologist Chelsea Smith is on the radar control. And let's go back to that first slide so we can see just the overall view. I want to show you that most areas are not under a severe weather threat. We only have about 5 counties that are under a tornado watch. That is LaRue, Marion, Hart, Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties. And once we get this area through, then we're going to be in the clear as far as severe weather. We need to watch out for additional flooding in these areas. There was some significant flooding and high water rescues in Greene and Adair counties earlier. We've got some more heavy rain moving your direction. So this is south of the Bluegrass Parkway, south of the Western Kentucky Parkway. Everything north, this is plain old rainfall, and we are not expecting severe weather. So Metro Louisville, southern Indiana, areas north of the parkways look like you're in the clear for severe weather for the rest of today. So don't be concerned about that. The threat is about 50 to 60 miles south and southeast of Louisville, but still within the WHAS11 viewing area. And let's go ahead, Chelsea, and go back down to that area that's under that threat. And this is how fast this cell is moving. That was the original tornado warning, and it's already about halfway through. So the National Weather Service has just updated that polygon, that threat box right there. So we do have this cell. It's radar indicated tornado. Again, we don't have a confirmation that a tornado is on the ground, but has had a history of doing at least some damage, it looks like. So southern, southeastern Hart County, be seeking shelter at this time. and then the western sections of Greene County. And I would go ahead and include Greensburg, because look how fast this is moving to the east-northeast, about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So it's going to move through that tornado-warned polygon very quickly, and then move through central Greene County very quickly as well. So here are some of the towns that are in that tornado-warned area: Bear Wallow, LeGrand Center, heading towards Crail Hope in about 13 minutes, Donensburg in about 18, Gabe in 23, and Greensburg in about 25 minutes. So you want to get to the lowest level of your home, away from the doors and the windows. We've got some safety tips that we want to pass along to you to make sure you just stay calm and get to that safe place. You want to find a sturdy shelter away from the windows. You want to get away from mobile homes. You are safer in a sturdier shelter. You want to have that severe weather safety kit ready if you've got time to do that. So Adair County, Taylor County, you've got some time to prepare over the next few minutes because that threat still exists for your area. You're under a tornado watch. Have that severe weather safety kit ready to go: first aid, flashlight, candles, charged cell phone. And when we say seek shelter immediately, you can cover up with those pillows and blankets. Hopefully you've got that ready to go, which can help block yourself from that debris. All right, moving forward here, the best place to go is, again, away from the doors and the windows, the most center section of your home. And the very best place is down in the basement. So again, just some things to help keep you safe. Right now, again, we've got that tornado warning for southeastern Hart County, and then also the western sections of Greene County. We do have some rotation that still exists there. Everywhere else north of this threat area that we're talking about, again, is not under a threat of severe weather. So again, I'm going to repeat this quite a bit. Louisville Metro, not in the threat of severe weather. All clear there. You see the deeper reds. These are the cells, these little supercells that we're tracking. They're rotating. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Campbellsville and Taylor County. Now, when they put out these severe thunderstorm warnings, they also put a tagline on there: tornado possible. So we've got to take every one of these warnings pretty seriously because there's quite a bit of rotation in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is pretty charged up right here. There's a front laying right about there. So right along that front, we've got some rotation, and it's not too hard to get these little spin-ups. Now, this is not quite the same setup, thankfully, as what we saw several weeks ago with the Mayfield tornado. These are not long-track tornadoes. These are what we typically call little spin-ups. They might be an EF0 or an EF1. They can do some damage, but generally they're kind of similar to straight line wind damage. Might get 70, 80, 90 mile per hour winds, which again can do some damage, but not widespread and long track like we saw several weeks ago. Nonetheless, be seeking shelter southeastern Munfordville. This is where we have got some rotation and some strong winds. You can kind of see it bowing out right there. And within that structure, you can get these little tiny spin ups. There was some tornado damage, it looks like, in Hopkinsville, southwest of our viewing area, a little bit earlier today, but currently we have that warning. That one goes for about 20 more minutes until 1:45 Eastern Time, 12:45 Central Time. There's that, and this severe thunderstorm warning, again, it is for this cell right here, and then this cell that had a tornado warning, that is already beginning to move out of our viewing area. So I'm not really concerned about that Marion County tornado warning anymore. Still be seeking shelter from this severe thunderstorm, capable possibly of producing a little spin-up tornado around Campbellsville. And then Greensburg, you're kind of sandwiched in between those two warnings. This is moving again 50, 60 miles per hour. So it's not going to take long for it to move out of Hart County and into Greene County and towards the Greensburg area. So you've got a little bit of a heads up here, Greensburg, to get prepared to be seeking shelter if that tornado warning eventually expands off to the east. What we're talking about as well, let's go to the watch map, and then we'll go to the warning map, because I just want to show you our threat area a little more clearly here for you. So that is south of the Bluegrass Parkway, and probably pretty soon we'll be able to take at least 2 or 3 of these counties off because the storms have already moved through those areas. But right now, Hart, LaRue, Marion, Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties, this is a tornado watch until 7 p.m. I think that threat's going to end a lot sooner, hopefully over the next hour or so. And then as we go to the warning map, just to kind of give you a more clear idea, we should have the warning map without all the radar on there, Chelsea, if you can find that. Should be right after that watch map. There we go. So we've got that tornado warning. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning, and then this one will expire very soon. We also have had quite a extensive flooding in Adair and into Greene County, where there were those high water rescues earlier today. So as these thunderstorms move over, they're going to be dumping some extra rain. We're going to have rising rivers, creeks, and streams. We're under a flood watch until 10 p.m. tonight. So I wouldn't let the kids be out there playing anywhere near those streams and some of those raging rivers. Very dangerous situation. So keep that in mind. If you encounter some flooding, turn around, don't drown is what we often say. All right, we'll go ahead and go back, and I actually want to show Futurecast, and we will look ahead at what's going to be happening for the rest of today. So this is not, again, a long-lasting severe weather threat. Futurecast picking up very well on where we have that threat, again, south of the Parkway, south of Bardstown. You can see the weather model is really picking up very well on that. Now, we could still see a few lingering showers and thunderstorms over the next hour or two, mainly Adair County, maybe southern sections of Greene and Taylor County, but that is where our severe weather threat is confined. Again, that is about 50 to 60 miles southeast of Metro Louisville. Southern Indiana, all clear. Not going to have severe weather in most of the WHAS11 viewing area. WHAS11.com viewing area is not going to have severe weather. What we're watching very closely again is those areas off to the southeast around Adair County and around the Cumberland Parkway. As we move forward, the next story is going to be that cold air moving in, and tomorrow we're going to be down to the 30s and the wind chills will be in the 20s, and the severe weather threat again won't last a whole lot longer for the rest of today. I want to show you the cold air. We've got our NC temperature map. It should be right in between there. There you go. Thank you, Chelsea. So this is one of the reasons why we have this active weather. We've got a stationary front, 59 in Louisville, 61 in Memphis. Right behind that front, it gets colder, 37 in St. Louis, 45 in Indianapolis, down to the teens in Kansas City, single digits in Des Moines and Lincoln, and down to below 0 over Minnesota and North Dakota, zero in Pierre, South Dakota. So we're going to have that cold air moving in. That'll give us a chance for maybe a couple flurries tomorrow, but it's also going to bring in a colder pattern for much of the rest of the month. Another snow chance could be heading our way on Thursday. Let's get back to the immediate threat. That is that tornado warning. So far, it is radar indicated. We don't have a confirmation that this tornado is on the ground. In Bowling Green, there was a report of some pine trees that had some damage from that cell right there. Again, not long ago, watch how quickly this was, about an hour ago, that was moving right through the downtown area of Bowling Green. Unfortunately, again, we all know several weeks ago, got hit really hard. Very devastating situation there. Hopefully it didn't do any more damage, but we'll have to wait and see if we get any more reports out of Bowling Green. So this is a very strong cell that's moving through Hart County. It looks like the rotation is mainly here in southeastern Hart County, and then just south of that, moving down the Cumberland Parkway. And it looks like it's not quite as impressive as it was. There's a little rotation here just north of Campbellsville too. Can't rule out that could produce a little spin up just north of Campbellsville. You're in good shape at the moment, but if this does hold together, that's going to be heading towards the Greensburg and Campbellsville areas here pretty soon. But I would say that does not look quite as healthy. There is still some rotation right there that is just south of the Hart County line. Let's go ahead and put another track on that, Chelsea, using that squall line function. Moving that east at about 55 miles per hour, and we can put a track as that moves towards Greene County and also Taylor County. We have until 12:45 Central Time this tornado warned area, and then we've got until 1 p.m. Central Time with that severe thunderstorm warning that is south of that, that's moving towards the Glasgow area now. So here is that track. If you live in one of these communities or nearby, I would be seeking shelter. Just play it safe. Monroe, Center, Donensburg, Grab, Gabe, Summersville, Greensburg, and Bengal is where you need to be seeking shelter at this time. Again, those include a lot of the areas here in Greene County. And we'll just kind of wait and see here for a little bit longer if this gets extended, if that rotation doesn't look as impressive. We'll just wrap up our live stream here, but we'll hang with it for a little while longer. Again, the overall map, lots of rain. Watch out for some rising rivers and creeks. Watch out for some ponding of water on the roadways. Not the way we wanted to start the new year, but Happy New Year here as we start off our first day of 2022. It looks like we've got a little update. They're cropping that tornado warned area. They're going to get rid of this bigger polygon. They're just kind of cleaning up that warning where there's still some rotation. That it does include southeastern Hart County and west central areas of Greene County. That's just outside of Greensburg. That's close enough. If I were at home in Greensburg, I would be getting ready to seek shelter. You've got just a few minutes. This thing is moving very quickly. Again, 55 miles per hour. And if it doesn't put down a tornado, it could have some damaging straight line winds, which can also do some significant damage as well. So there it is. There's the cleaned up new tornado warning. It's a little bit smaller and a little more precise. It's moving over the Hart and over the Hart County line and into the Greene County area within just a couple minutes. It looks like, Chelsea, that severe thunderstorm warning go away? So that no longer has a warning on it just north of Campbellsville. That is moving away. So there's still a little rotation in that cell right there. That is right on the Taylor and Marion County line. A couple lightning strikes there. And that is drifting to the northeast. So I would just stay inside, even though there's not a warning on that in the southeastern areas of Marion County. You can see that green and that red that are right next to each other. That indicates a rotating thunderstorm. So these can put down little quick spin-ups. So as that moves from Taylor into southeastern Marion County, this stays south of Lebanon though, I would just be in your place of shelter just in case. Even though there's not a warning, doesn't hurt to be extra safe. So the only warning that we have in our viewing area is a pretty small one, and it's for this area of rotation right there. There's a tornado on the ground. That is just a few miles southwest of the town of Center, and that is going to be moving into our viewing area. So right now it looks like the center of circulation is just south of Hart County, staying southeast of Munfordville, southeast of Bonneville. And we hope these things can speed up. That means they move in and out very quickly. We'll get it out of the viewing area, and then we can say we're all clear in the entire WHAS11 viewing area. But there is a look at that rotation right there. So Chelsea just put that track on it. So we've got an updated timeline here. 7 minutes, could be heading towards Center. Crail Hope at about 9. Little Barron in about 11 minutes. Pierce 13. Give it about 15 minutes. And Grab XC in about 16. Fry in 19. And Greensburg in about 20 minutes, crossing over Highway 68 if this again holds together. What we have seen many times, not all cases, when these cells cross over Interstate 65, they have kind of weakened and not held together too well. Again, this is not the long track, huge tornadoes like we saw several weeks ago. These are little tiny spin-ups, might be like EF0, but it looks like we're losing some of that rotation. We're not seeing the brighter colors, which tells me that is not as organized. Still could be an isolated damaging wind gust threat that is moving into the southwestern sections of Greene County. And this is going to be moving very, very quickly through Greene County and then again out of the viewing area. We will watch next this severe thunderstorm that's going to be moving through the Glasgow area, and I think it's right on top of Glasgow right now. That's going to be cruising down the Cumberland Parkway. So sometimes these kind of pulse up, pulse down, it loses its organization, then all of a sudden it kind of tightens back up, and that can pose a danger. So that cell we will watch very quickly as it tracks east-northeast, and if it holds together, which it looks pretty strong and it could do, it looks like that would impact southern Greene County and then possibly center sections of Adair County. So these are the areas that are still under the threat of some severe weather and the potential for some flooding as well. We still have rain that's behind these cells that is going to be moving through Greene, Taylor, and Adair County. You guys have had a break since the very heavy rainfall that we had overnight. Columbia reporting over 3 inches of rainfall and into Greene County too. There's a bullseye of just torrential rain through the overnight that caused that flooding this morning. Again, we've had a little bit of a break, but now we're going to be dumping some extra heavy rain back on that. Some other cells that are down around the Tennessee and Kentucky state line, those should stay south of our viewing area. And notice there's not any more action out to the west or to the northwest. So as we broaden back out, Chelsea, Again, I'm going to be very repetitive on purpose. Metro Louisville, all clear as far as severe weather. Just wet roads to be careful with. Southern Indiana, no threat of severe weather. All areas north of I-64, no threat. All clear, it looks like, as well, north of Bardstown and the Bluegrass Parkway and north of Litchfield and the Western Kentucky Parkway. And it looks like areas now west of I-65 are in the all clear. So this is a very small area within our viewing area that still has that threat of some severe weather and the potential of an isolated tornado. That includes Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties, and maybe a little bit of Marion County. And it looks like pretty soon, I would say pretty much now, even though LaRue, you're under a tornado watch, I think you're going to be pretty safe here very soon, and most likely a lot of Marion County soon as well. But we still have these troublesome supercells that are causing some isolated damaging wind gusts. This one's not looking as organized. That's why it still does not have a warning on it. This had a severe thunderstorm warning on it earlier. That cell right there, that's moving right on top of the Taylor and Marion County line. That's going to be drifting away and out of our viewing area very soon. And just looking at this one, so this is how fast they're moving. This cell is now on the tail end of its own tornado warned area. It's now 1:37 p.m. Eastern time. That warning goes until 1:45 Eastern, 12:45 Central. So only about 7 more minutes or so, 7-8 minutes is how long that tornado warning continues. It's about to move outside of its own tornado warning. We will see if it gets expanded, or maybe we'll see if the National Weather Service puts a severe thunderstorm warning capable producing a tornado. We'll kind of wait and see there if that does get extended. And let me know, Chelsea, if you see anything in the chat as far as that goes. Severe thunderstorm warning farther south around the Cumberland Parkway, included in that Edmonton and Glasgow. That is just to the south of our viewing area. Definitely does not look like the winds are as impressive. It looks like maybe we've got some rotation just off the ground. And hopefully, when we see this on radar, that hopefully that weakening trend continues. But still, just in case, be in your place of shelter here just to the west and southwest of Greensburg, in those areas that we told you just a little bit early to be taking shelter, including center. Looks like that center of circulation is right over the top of center at this time. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning, radar indicated. Again, we do not have a confirmation that a tornado is on the ground, and our hopes is if there was one, it's already lifted up and things are not as organized now. So it's just not looking as organized. So we've got about 5 more minutes with that tornado warning here in the western central sections of Greene County. That goes until just 12:45 Central Time. So as we back up our view one more time, we'll just kind of go through the graphics and we'll see if that gets extended or not. Looks like that threat's a little bit lower. And again, we only have a few counties that are still in that threat of severe weather. We've got some heavy pockets of rain. One just moved over Metro Louisville, but again, it's not severe. You're looking for that deep red color for those supercells, and we're just not seeing it over the vast majority of our viewing area. And that's actually where that front is, and that's why that is the focus of severe weather. The unstable air is actually about right there. And go ahead and hit that lightning counter, Chelsea, and we're not going to see much lightning out of this. These are not huge thunderstorms, towering thunderstorms. The reason why they're causing a bit of danger is because there's a lot of shear and rotation near the surface, near this warm front that's sitting about right there. So that air is flowing into the warm front, and then you've got more of a northwest flow that comes down to it. So only 2 lightning strikes in this entire view. So there's not a whole lot of action here, thankfully. And it's a very minimal threat overall, severe weather across the area. Again, we're only talking Greene, Taylor, and Adair County for the next hour, maximum 2 hours, it looks like, for that severe weather threat. And we're really only tracking these 2 cells, that one that's moving into Greene County now. And look how quickly it moved out of Hart County. And it's about to move out of its, it's about out of its own tornado warned area there. And then we've got an updated severe thunderstorm warning. They're cropping that one. So that cell's moving very fast, and that's going to be moving towards southern Greene County as well.
You're saying that that warning is tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning?
Okay. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible mention. We're mentioning tornado in the severe thunderstorm warnings because little spin-ups can happen in very short notice, and we just got to watch them very closely. Have they mentioned anything about extending?
They haven't mentioned that, but also just to keep in mind with that severe thunderstorm warning, they're saying it's 70-mile-per-hour wind gust.
Okay, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So you're getting close to like EF0 if it were a tornado. So that's why I was mentioning earlier. These are weak little spin-up tornadoes if they're even hitting the ground. And if it's not a tornado, there's a lot of wind not very far off the ground. That's in excess of 70, 80 miles per hour. We've got this jet floating right over the top of us. So sometimes we get these downpours to channel that air to the ground, and that gives us some damaging straight line winds, which again, very similar to a weak spin up EF0 tornado. Threat still exists for the Greensburg area. I would just stay inside. Even though Greensburg, you technically don't have a tornado warning for your area, that's still a pretty strong cell that's moving over your location, and then eventually that's going to slide into the Campbellsville area. Might aggravate some of the flooding that you've already had as well. So it definitely does not look like the rotation is anywhere near as organized as it was. And if you query some of these, I bet those winds aren't even very strong as well, probably 30, 40 miles per hour. And oh yeah, it's gonna, you can do it up here outside of that warning. You should be able to query those. So yeah, 40 miles per hour. Typically we're talking 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater to get a warning. When you get winds above 60 miles per hour, that can do damage to some trees and some structures. So that's below that. So I doubt that that warning will get expanded to the east, thankfully. And it should be expiring as we speak, as we come up to almost 1:45 p.m. And it's already outside of that tornado warning area anyway. We've got this one, severe thunderstorm warning, capable possibly of producing a tornado that we'll watch very closely as it will be heading towards southern Greene and then moving towards the Columbia area in Adair County. And other than that, that's about it. Yeah, let's do a couple tracks and then we'll kind of wrap up the stream here as the threat is diminishing at this time. So I would just stay inside until this moves through. If you see your town, if you don't technically have a warning, I would just stay inside until that threat moves through. Beachville in about 9 minutes, Cork in about 11, Keltner in 17, Gradyville in about 20, and into the Bliss area in about 24 minutes. Let's go ahead and put one track right there, Chelsea, near the Greensburg area. Take that through Taylor County, and then that'll kind of wrap things up. And then for the rest of today, just watch out for some localized flooding. And over the next day or two, I think we're still going to be gathering water in the ground, and that means the rising rivers, creeks, and streams. Some, not the Ohio River, the major river system, but some of the other smaller rivers, the Salt River, Kentucky River, might get up to flood stage. So we're going to need to watch that. Last track here. We've got Greensburg, Bluff, Boom, Black Gnat, Hatcher, Campbellsville, and into the Mansville area over the next 15 minutes to a half hour. And again, no warning on that at this time.
And then they are letting that expire, but they're going to have a severe thunderstorm warning with it.
Okay.
But the tornado possible.
Okay, so it looks like as Chelsea just said, I know you can't hear her, there goes the tornado warning. It's gone. They're going to put out a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. So we'll still watch that. Sometimes, again, they can pulse up and down. So the severe weather threat looks like it only exists now for Greene, Taylor, and Adair County for a little bit longer. There's that new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to guess that continues for about a half hour until, yeah. So 2:15 Eastern time and then 1:15 Central time. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning capable of some damaging straight line winds. Tornado can't be ruled out. But we do not have a tornado warning on that. So that's going to be moving through Greene and then Taylor County. And then once that's out of here, I think you guys are going to be in good shape. That should only take about 15 to 20 minutes. It's moving very quickly at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. We still could have a couple of cells that impact Adair County over the next hour. We'll watch it for you very closely as well. On behalf of Storm Team Meteorologist Chelsea Smith, who's been controlling the radar, I am Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine. Again, severe thunderstorm warning. We'll have more information crawling at the bottom of the screen on WHAS11 right now with the Citrus Bowl.